Well, hi folks. I got this tune stuck in my head again. It happened about more than 2 weeks ago now. I was invited to a little informal gathering of country bluegrass fellas. Really nice crowd, about a dozen people altogether, and they played a whole bunch of neat country tunes, many of which I wasn't familiar. And I certainly wasn't familiar with the one I'm going to attempt to play for you. Now, I did a posting elsewhere on this faceless Facebook where you can hear how it's supposed to sound, righteously played by some really good banjo and guitar fellows. Well, I'm not up to speed on playing those instruments yet. I hope to be, but I'm not yet. And you ought to know how the tune goes. And I looked into the tune because I love it so much, Spanish grass. And well, the folks at the gathering all figured it was written by one Ed Shelton. And he is rightly part of the history. I can understand for the error, but apparently the fellow who actually wrote the tune was Mr. Mike, as he was known, Auldridge. Again, I posted this information, but Mr. Auldridge specialized in the country instrument known as the Dobro, which, if you haven't heard one, you ought to, because it is something else. And he wrote Spanish grass, I've learned, as a youngster. And it's quite a haunting tune. Now, I heard it a second time this last Tuesday. It was the first number they played, in fact. And I didn't remember, of course. I don't remember it. And I had to ask him for that title and write it down to figure it out. Now, Mr. Shelton apparently is normally credited for the tune because he recorded it on a 1976 LP. And although I'm told, I don't have the record, but I'm told that on the LP that credits the righteous composer, who is Mr. Mike Auldridge. He's deceased, unfortunately. But he left us probably many beautiful tunes, but I know this one for sure. But I hear it with different set of ears. And I told the folks there that this to me sounds like a traditional jazz kind of number, more than country even. Not that it doesn't work, bluegrass and country style. I mean, it's just one of those natural things, but I hear it different. I hear it as a 1920s jazz band, say like Jelly Roll Morton or one of those great fellas, with Mr. Johnny St. Cyr on banjo and so forth and so on. That's what I've got burning around in my head, and I don't have it really down, but I figure if I don't put out something, then it'll be gone. And what a pleasure. If one person out there in the world sees and hears this, then it's worth the trouble, because it's part of hard drive history, isn't it? When you all write in something, or click the like button, or thank God they don't have a don't like button. You'd see that an awful lot, I think. But you click like, that's a contribution to hard drive American or international history, world history. Everything you say, it's on hard drives. So that being the case, it is a privilege, to put something out here, and you'll hear more mistakes than write notes. That's the way it is with an old guy that doesn't practice, but still feels something towards the instrument. More so to the guitar these days, folks. Guitar beats piano hands down. I'm telling you, it's about it's between you and the strings. There's a hammer, right? It's a hammer that strikes metal, and it isn't personal enough. Whereas with the guitar, well, you put it against your guts and your heart. That's that. Much better, much more personal. You can play the piano all tootsie-wootsy sort of ways. and make it personal and up close and all that kind of jazz, but not like you can the guitar. And besides, you don't have to sit at attention in front of the gosh darn thing. You can be laying down and have a puppy dog on your lap and enjoy yourself, you know, instead of sitting in front of this monster. So anyways, whatever it will be, will be. That's what my mama used to sing to me, old Miss Doris Day. Here we go. A little bit of humor is going to be thrown in here. The introduction might be somewhat familiar to fans of Mr. Sergei Vasilyevich Rachmaninoff, who I adore. And there's some of Mr. Comfrey and just about everything I do. So, and Mr. Charlie Hunter back here. All right. Oh well, you know, in the South, the living is good. Don't die without seeing the cotton fields bloom once. You'll never forget it.